48 hours ago, 16 contestants crash-landed into Survivor Lake Court's latest challenge, the Bermuda Triangle. In a series first, players chose their own tribes: Bermuda, Miami, and San Juan. Throughout the early stages of the game, Miami was divided into chaotic factions, fighting for dominance and blindsiding pro players.
Lucas, I like your ambition. It's too dangerous to be left alone.
On Bermuda,
Do you still have it on you?
No, I don't.
a series of misfortunes turned the power structure upside down, leaving Leah as the lone survivor. Meanwhile, San Juan proved to be physically and socially dominant, winning challenge after challenge,
We did it!
A unit!
We're never losing.
losing only one player to a medical evacuation. At the merge, San Juan and Miami were locked in a stalemate, with Leah as the crucial swing vote. However, an old rivalry with Davis caused Brendan to flip, joining the San Juan alliance and sealing the fate of his former tribemates. With Leah and Davis forced into an unlikely partnership, they sowed chaos and planted seeds in an attempt to dismantle the majority alliance, successfully ousting Allison. When a twist split up the castaways of the final six, Kirk nearly flipped to join Leah and Davis,
Alright, you got this.
Final 3 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Final three!
but decided his best path forward was to stick with Austin, Charity, and Brendan. Now, only 4 remain. Brendan,
I actually think I'm in a pretty powerful position. I blindsided Lucas. I played the Diamond Idol. I have stayed loyal and true. And so, I mean, if I make it to the jury, I think I have a pretty powerful story.
Austin,
Each of us might think that we can beat each other, but the way that I've competed and strategizing in the tribal councils that I've been in has shown my strategy game as well, and I think that I could win against them.
Kirk,
I think that's what I didn't even realize about this game as a whole, is just how emotionally draining it is. I feel like I've made several snafus and still survived. So, of course, what I'm thinking now is, okay, how do I, A, get to the final 2, and B, what do I do with this jury?
and Charity.
I've spent like the last 48 hours with these people and my heart's a little broken just because I love those boys. They're bigger, stronger. Sometimes my mind doesn't think as quick as theirs. And so it's just been cool to see like the growth of like knowing literally nothing to now sitting in this spot and being able to say that like, yeah, I came here and didn't know a single thing, but yet here I am.
Who will survive to the final 2 and be crowned sole survivor?
Because we literally talked about it, and then
You want to sit?
we talked about it. I think I remember saying something about like if
That's the thing with him. He tells one person one thing and turns tells someone something else. But it was just like, yeah. And then like turned.
You wouldn't have showed it if it was
It's true.
a real one.
that is what I really should have remembered.
But that's what I thought about the last one. But then that one ended up being real.
And he
too.
knew that we wouldn't
He's
vote about
smart.
that. Too.
Yeah.
Mark that.
Austin was thinking that Davis's idol was fake. Austin thought that about Davis's last idol that he had, and it was real. So I was like, I don't think this idol is fake. If we all vote for Davis, I think whoever Davis votes for will be screwed. Like, I think Davis's idol is real. My heart's pounding. I knew that it was going to be me or Davis. So then when Davis's idol was not real, are you kidding me? Shook. He did a good job. Austin was like, oh yeah, I knew it was fake because it looked like tree beads. And then Austin figured it out in 5 seconds. He was like, yeah, it was a bag from one of the challenges. It was tree mail. And I was like, well, the bag and the paper fooled me, I'll be honest.
He played it well.
He would do great in Game of Thrones, I'll tell you that. Or like in the court of a king.
Yeah. Last tribal was way more complicated than it needed to be. I started kind of the idea of like, hey, our only option where this doesn't work is if Davis finds an idol. So I'm like, we either need to just stick with him the entire time or just go look for an idol, try and find it before he maybe has a chance to find it.
He played a good game.
He did.
He did. We could just not get him out.
Oh my gosh,
I know.
That's the thing. He just one trick out of the bag.
I just was very disappointed. We freaking messed up that Leah vote, and then Allison got voted off. That was like our one kind of mistake, but like, look at us.
We made it.
I mean, I was looking around a ton for the idol, and I still haven't found one of those stupid little things, which is frustrating, but it worked out in a sense that he didn't actually find a real idol, and it helped that I was able to kind of study the tree beads and all that and know what they look like. So that was helpful just to kind of keep that ease of mind. But everybody else was freaking out a little bit. I tried to comfort them saying like, there's no way he's gonna show us an idol if it's a real one. He would just wait and then pick who he wants off. And then Kirk kind of throws that random curveball of like throwing Charity's name in there and almost like, in a way, almost gets himself voted off and we have to re-vote for Davis. But it all worked out as planned. We made it through Final 4, so no complaints here.
Final 4.
Did you guys think you'd make it this far? No. What did you think you'd make it this far?
I thought I'd be like 4 or 5 and then I'd be toast, so.
Okay. What about you?
I thought that if I could make it past Miami Tribe and hit the merge, then I could make it to this point.
Okay.
But I just had to do that.
Yeah.
Because they were gunning for me, really.
Yeah.
We don't really know what to do. We don't want to vote each other out. Our whole game plan was Final Four with us. At least that was my game plan. What I have going for me is I have ruffled a lot of feathers. I've played very strategic early on. I've probably hurt a lot of people's feelings. And so right now I'm just an asset to these guys. I hope they see that and keep me around because, I mean, that's the smart move to do.
A very long way.
We both growing through this experience.
I feel like if I were to go up against the jury, I feel like I'd have a very good chance. I do know a few people on the jury have beef with Brendan, a little bit with Kurt, even a little with Austin. So I feel like I'd be set there. But I think strategy moving forward is probably just to chat, just get everything out in the open and just come to a conclusion of like, what do we want to do? And
did you expect to make it this far?
No, I genuinely, I kid you not. I was like, I'm gonna be out like the second round. I don't even know how to play the game. Like, why would they want to keep me around?
That's crazy.
Like, for reals.
again, I'm very thankful with my play leading up to this game and not even knowing how to play the game. And so if this is my last hurrah, like I'm very happy with that. So.
Now we'll see what happens.
Come on in, guys!
All right. Welcome, Urba Tribe, your next community challenge. Austin, I'll take it back. Alrighty. Once again, immunity is back up for grabs. How this challenge is gonna work, you're gonna start with a hand on the wall. When I say go, you will take off, grab at your bag marked number 1, run back, set it on the porch. You're gonna run back, grab your bag number 2, run back, set it on the porch, then run back, grab your third bag, set it on the porch. Once you have all 3 bags on the porch, you can get up on the porch and start working on your tower puzzle. Each level of your tower will have 4 columns that are all the same height. First person to completely build their tower and have it freestanding for 3 seconds wins immunity. Guaranteed a spot in the final 3. As for the rest of you, one of you will become the next member of the jury. All right. If no one has any questions, we'll get started. All right, survivors ready? Go! Everyone's back with their first bags. Everyone has their second bags. Brendan's back first. You can start working on his puzzle. Kirk working on his puzzle. Charity and Austin now getting into it. The columns can be anywhere on the ground. So your first disc is going to go on top of your first level. So you will be building it on the porch. Yes, all the pieces need to be used. Some people run into issues. Now they have columns, but they're not all equal. Remember, you are looking to build 4 equal columns. Austin, remember your disc will go on top of your columns, not below. Kirk thinks he might have something. Kirk has completed the first level of his tower. Austin has completed the first level of his tower. Austin knocks the whole thing over. The wind will play a factor. Some of these discs are not exactly flat either, so you're going to have to work around that. Remember, 4 columns, not 5. Everyone moving on their second level. Charity's still working on her first. Once you figure it out, it'll make a lot of sense. Kirk finishes his second level of the tower, now beginning on his final level. Austin's still trying to recreate the first level that he had and then knocked over. Right now, it is Kirk in the lead, way ahead of everyone else.
Kirk, don't sneeze.
Kirk trying to assemble his last columns. Everyone has different strategies. Some people are laying them flat, some people are standing them up. Charity's still struggling, can't seem to figure out the first level. Kirk started to put columns on top of his tower. Trying to be very careful so it doesn't topple over. These towers are wobbly. Austin's finishing putting on his second level. Everyone just hoping Kirk drops. Austin finishing his second level. Kirk placing his top level. Will it be freestanding? 3, 2, 1. Kirk wins the individual immunity. Guarantee a spot in the final 3.
Shaking so bad.
Congratulations, Kirk. Come get your immunity. You earned it. Guaranteed a spot in the final 3. As for the rest of you, one of you will become the next member of the jury. Barely miss out on final 3. All right, I'll give you all some time to go back to camp and strategize, and then we'll get to the vote. All right, y'all can head on out.
My hands were shaking so bad. I'm like naturally pretty shaky, like even now it's a little shake. It's still shaking. But I'm voting out Brennan and having San Juan go to the final 3, which I am down for. It's so hard to think of everything from every possibility at this point.
Well, I mean, it's either Charity or me, probably. So it's really up to y'all. Or Austin.
It is an option, yes, but I prefer not to be that option. I'm definitely not satisfied with how I did in the challenge today. Obviously wanted to win. Obviously the plan was to win, but just couldn't get my blocks steady, and then I tried to rip open my second bag and toppled my first tower, and that just kind of set me back too much, and then Kirk ended up pulling it through. But I'm like for sure down to take Kirk to final 3 and final 2, so it's definitely not worst case scenario.
So, I mean, what are you thinking? You're the man with the plan. You're sitting pretty.
Yeah, I think it comes down to who do you think is going to be in the final 2 and how do you think they're going to get there. So, and more so like who do we want in the final 2, because that will obviously determine who wins. So
It's probably more of who do you want.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Charity's coming. PT dubs. I think kind of Charity is kind of going to be the one that I really don't want to take to final 2. And maybe that's not the right way of looking at things, but I feel like she is incredibly likable and just has so much fun, and all of the jury sees that and is friends with her, and she hasn't done anything really wrong. And I think that that's a threat. We could just make fire.
That's what I was thinking. That'd be fun.
It would be fun.
Yeah.
I am open and willing to make fire with anybody, with either Brendan or Charity. I think that would only help my game, and I think that would be big time for me. So if I could get that win under my belt too, ideally I would want to vote Charity.
So the last challenge, definitely hard. I did not do well at all. Didn't even get past the first stage. I'm feeling okay coming out of it. Definitely coming out of that challenge with 3 guys and me being the only girl is a little bit scary, just because guys are scary and you never know what's going to happen. And then also at this point in time, at some point, San Juan isn't going to last forever. So either I have to buddy up with somebody else, or we stick together and we vote Brendan.
Like I said, I'm not in a good spot. You guys tell me what you want to do.
But I want to hear your thoughts.
I want to hear yours.
Okay,
This happens all the time. I tell you mine first all the time. What are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts? Well, I'd love to stay, San Juan would be so fun if we all stayed together. But also,
Previously, San Juan and I have talked about voting out Brendan. That was kind of our plan there. And then I had mentioned possibly voting out Austin, because he is just a very strong player, very good player, very strategic, very loyal, very just upfront and honest, which I think is amazing at how he's played this whole time. But definitely poses a threat to me for sure, because I think he would win if it was me and him left at the final 2. I don't know.
Oh, this is a safe place.
I know. Also, Austin's good.
He's good.
So I'm low key
That thought did cross my mind. It kind of sucks, but like he's gonna win the next couple challenges, and he has a good story for the jury as well.
I mean, the biggest threat's Austin. He's a great player. He's really good in challenges. Me and Austin were very strategic. We were really pulling the strings throughout the whole tribe. And so if we don't vote him out this time, he's probably has a very high chance of winning the next challenge. And then he has a good story when it ever comes to the jury.
If we vote him out, how will we like win the jury ourselves?
Well, I think we're all equal at that point.
If I could go to the end with someone, I would want to go with Kirk because Charity has a good story where she has no idea what Survivor is. She just was her genuine self and made it this far. Austin is a big threat, obviously. He's good at challenges. He is charismatic, and he doesn't have any enemies. Kirk is a great guy, but I don't think he made any big moves. And so I have stuff to talk about, Austin has stuff to talk about, and Charity has stuff to talk about. But in Kirk's case, I think it's just he's ended up being here just through perseverance, just being himself. But I don't think there were any big moves pulled by him. So I think I have an advantage in that sense.
That's the thing. He's such a threat in that sense. Like I'm wondering, like for instance, just expressing for myself. I'm like, okay, if it does come to, if we got it to the down to just me and Austin in the final two, would I win? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Brandon just had a good point that we should vote out Austin because he's such a strong competitor and he's played such a good game. He really, truly has. Like, he has played the game probably the best out of all of us, if we're being fully honest. And unfortunately, that makes him a threat at this point. And so I feel like me, Brandon, and Charity are all pretty equal as far as the rest of the bets are off, as far as winning challenges or with the jury. So I have a choice because I have immunity. The choice is, if I think that I have a good enough case to beat Austin in the final two, then we should vote San Juan and then vote Charity out. Otherwise, we've got to vote out Austin right now, and then I think I could build a stronger case against Charity. Or Brennan just now said that he feels like the jury isn't going to vote for him at all, which makes me doubly cautious because there's no way he actually thinks that, or else he wouldn't be fighting this hard at this point in the game. He has to think that he has a case. I'm trying to figure out what Brendan thinks his case is with the jury. So I'm gonna have to count, see how the jury is, and I'm still kind of, my own jury is out in my head.
We will now bring in the members of the jury. Drew, Allison, Leah, and Davis voted off for the last tribal council. Aruba tribe down to the final four. This is where it all comes together. Your game either ends here or you're setting yourself up for a victory. All right, so Austin, tell me about that last challenge. What was it like for you? Do you think that was a challenge you needed to win to guarantee your safety, or was it not as vital for you?
Obviously it would have been best for me to win the challenge. We'll see if it ends up being vital for me. I feel like I'm in a decent spot still with everybody. But yeah, it was definitely frustrating to have my tower topple over and not win.
Yeah, so Kirk, you did win. That means you are automatically guaranteed a spot in the final three. So with that knowledge, do you feel like you're able to play a little riskier now, or do you feel like your strategy is going to be the same no matter what?
Strategy the same no matter what is a relative term. Having so like this, the layers of this game, I think honestly I wasn't really expecting to win, so I don't think it's changing the way that I'm still trying to work with everyone and figure out what's the best solution for moving forward. So.
Okay, so Charity, when you get back to camp, what is the discussion like? What are people talking about? Do you think there's going to be a unified decision against one person, or is it split? Just tell me about the conversations y'all have
There were so many conversations happening back at camp, whether that is we split, whether we vote one specific person out, and there's just a lot of conversations happening, and I feel like we've come to a conclusion, but I feel like it also could change at this moment.
Okay. Brendan, that is kind of concerning hearing that it could just be changing. You think you might know what's going on, but someone changes their mind, all of a sudden it's different.
That's true.
Every tribal y'all have been talking as people are getting up to vote, the vote has changed multiple times at tribal. So with that in mind, how can you trust that what you said at camp is actually what's gonna happen?
Yeah, it's been tough, you know. We're all friends here, you know. I've gotten to know these 3 other players pretty well, and it's tough, you know. The farther you get along in the game, the closer you're gonna get with them, and so the discussions are getting really hard on who you can put off, and things have been flip-flopping back and forth, but it just seems to be the theme of this game.
It truly does. All right. Anyone have anything else they'd like to say? Ready to vote. All right, Brendan, you're up.
I don't want to do this. I really don't. I'm so sorry, Austin. I love you so much. You're just too big of a threat, and I really wish that it didn't play out like this, but I love you. Oh boy. It's just sticking with the game plan. I'm hoping all of my chats and building trust with everybody works out in my favor.
With that, I'll get all the votes. Once votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area. Read the votes. First vote. Charity. Austin. Austin. Third person voted out. 6 1 vote for Austin. Austin hands it up. Torch. Austin, the tribe split. Time for you to go.
You know, a little disappointed that Brendan ended up turning on me, but part of the game, and I respect it, and was just pretty open with my gameplay, and I kind of thought that I could beat any of them if I got to the jury, so.
No hard feelings.
I made a lot of hard decisions in this set. This is probably the hardest. Much respect for us.
I can't say I'm too surprised, but it was a lot of fun.
Now, remember when Austin was making fun of people who cry on Survivor? And that's it. That was the hardest thing.
To see him leave the tribal council was just really hard and not something that I wanted to do. Even though I knew I had to do, it was something that needed to happen. It was not something that I wanted to have to experience or go through.
That was probably the hardest decision to this game, and I think I've done some pretty hard things, but that just felt awful. I love Austin to death. I really do. He's just the nicest person. He's great at every challenge. He's confident, he's funny. He's, you know, I wish the world for him, but he was going to win this game. And, you know, we're all out here to see how far we can go and what we're made of. And it's really unfortunate that it had to play out how it did, but here we are. There's nothing we can do.
It was so hard. That was harder than when I voted out Leah. And we all know how hard that was for me. So this was harder emotionally. I think that's what I didn't even realize about this game as a whole, is just how emotionally draining it is. Like low-key, the strategy part has been not easier than I expected, but I feel like I've made several snafus and still survived when I shouldn't have. So voting out Austin, who's literally like my ride or die, there have been so many points when I've been like, let's just take the San Juan to the final 3. Let's just, I've even told Austin to his face, and I still think this is true. Like, I would be happy to lose to him because I think that he's the best player in this game. I've said it, I hold that to be true. That I think he was the best player in this game, and that's why I voted him out.
Yeah,
And there were so many points, like so many different things went through our heads. Like, there were so many points when all of us were like, we're just gonna keep San Juan and just vote you out.
I bet.
There were so many points.
And I had to be so risky. Like, I had to go against, because I probably could have, if I really wanted to, played it off with Davis to my advantage and like kicked you guys off one by one. But I didn't.
Did you hear what Davis said?
Good
He
riddance.
said, finally.
Right, but
I'm like, Davis, that was so aggressive.
there was 9 of us, and there'll be 7 on the jury. If it was Austin and
any of us,
yeah, the only person who possibly could have beat him was maybe Charity.
Who? Austin?
You're the only person that could have beat Austin.
To be honest, I don't think that I mean, there's 2 things. I don't think I'm going to win this game, no matter what. I think I have a lot of enemies on that jury. I just think from the get-go I was put in a pretty bad situation where I was just in a pit of vipers from the beginning. I had to make a lot of moves, and because of that, I made enemies there. And then merge happened, and I was a swing vote where everyone wanted me on their team. People didn't like that either. And so I made enemies there too. I hope they look past that, but currently with Kirk and Charity, I mean, I don't think either of them have made pretty big moves. Charity, I see more as a threat because she did not know Survivor going in, and she's made it to the top 3. And with Kirk, I mean, he hasn't made any big moves either, but he's a very likable person on the jury, and he could talk a lot. So he could talk very well. And so I think Kirk actually might be a bigger threat because of that, because he can talk more. He can talk his way, and he's just a very charming person. If I was in their shoes against me, I would take me to final 2, just because I would be easier to beat than one of them, because they don't have any enemies. None of them have made any big moves. It just will come down to who's the more charismatic person and who's the best talker. That's what I'm gonna play at, is I'm just gonna keep planting that seed in their ear where I am not the most liked person out here right now.
My only thought, like for instance, like we just one of us has to win, I think.
and one of us will win.
I think so. And then we vote out Charity.
Okay.
You don't think so? What do you think?
Of course, what I'm thinking now is, okay, how do I A, get to the final 2, and B, what do I do with this jury? I think what really set me up to vote Austin out was just realizing how little of it, there's no way under any circumstances I was gonna beat Austin and get the jury's vote. And I think and Brendan and I have both talked about this, I think we are pretty equally split as far as like not doing a ton of like really crazy cool things, like, and we haven't like really had a super loyal following.
I mean, like, I think what we said earlier of like,
I think you and I are pretty. I don't think
Okay, so to be real with you, I don't think you have a story, and I think
Yeah.
you can use me as an asset just to talk about all the bad things that I've done in this game.
And I'll be like, I feel like the same. Like I feel like I don't have that much of a story, and I feel like you can pull some of the things that you've like done and the way that you've like worked through this game to like get it. So I think if it's you against Charity, I think she wins.
I think she wins too.
I think if it's me against Charity, I think she wins pretty easily.
I think so too.
So I think it has to come down to us.
I think Brendan and I will probably vote Charity out. I think Charity is too much of a threat, which is literally so funny because she has never played before, had no idea even what Survivor was, not even any of the rules, nothing, literally not a thing. I obviously think that I have a good shot, and Brendan must think that he has a good shot. So, we'll see.
So I think our goal is to try and beat her in the challenge.
Okay, I'm about it. I think it's a good plan. Cool.
If I have the power, who am I choosing to sit next to? I think both of the guys left, so Kirk and Brendan. I think if I were to choose either one of them, I think when I present myself to the jury, I think I have a really good chance of taking first. So I think I'm pretty confident in choosing either one of them, and so it'll just see what happens next with that.
All right, bring it in.
Alright.
One and three, baby. How sure do I think I'm gonna win this game? Besides 1 and 3, I mean, all three of us think that there's like a slightly above 50% chance. Otherwise, the three of us would not have teamed up to get out Austin. So all three of us think that there's slightly above 50% chance. So we'll see who's right.
Yeah, I never even got to say hi to him.
Hard. He was the first one out, and it's so bad. I feel bad for this one. He could have played a really good game. He was happy to be here.
Yeah, he's so nice. Oh, Anna. I called her Abby the whole time.
She was feisty. I was honestly a little scared of her.
Me too.
Like genuinely,
She was so intimidating.
I was like,
The
very first
the
challenge.
wringing out the water into the bucket. I was like, resourceful.
yeah, I was a little yeah.
She was
feisty.
here to play for sure.
Jackie.
Oh, this was a rough time.
That was a rough time.
I mean, Jackie did amazing. I think that she came in with like a really like grit to play. I think I think she got a little too excited to try and
and like
divide people when we had to come together.
Yes, exactly. And she, Kyle. Same, I feel like a little bit with Jackie. I feel like he came in wanting to play, ready to play.
He did great. He had such a good attitude. Poor guy, being the only guy on a team full of
Girls.
girls.
I think that just
Still
flipped a
hard
little bit
dynamic.
on him in the end.
I think he had a great attitude, was super positive about it.
Yeah.
Ah, Lucas.
I didn't get to
tell
meet
us
him, but
more.
he looked nice.
He was very strategic. He was very smart, good competitor. We just saw him as a threat early on, and he was gunning for everyone, kind of. And so we just saw that we had to get him out.
Yeah.
But he was really. I would like to see how far he would have got if we didn't blindside him. Yeah.
Drew! She did so good with the onions.
Oh my gosh, poor girl.
I feel like she was just a trooper.
Yeah,
Like,
she was
I
willing
knew
to
she
do
was-
anything.
Yeah, she was nervous to play, but I felt like she just, any challenge that came her way, especially with her and Leah being the last two.
On Bermuda. Oh my gosh, when they did the bird's nest.
The bird's nest.
That was an incredible game.
Yeah.
They really fought hard, and
Yeah.
they had a great one on that. So
Excellent job, Drew.
Not Lindsay.
No way.
So sad.
That's a sad one.
Yeah, I mean, just like
That one was hard too.
she was so.
I'm thankful we didn't have to go through the fact of like voting her out though.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
I'm thankful. I mean, I'm not thankful she got sick, but like.
I'm glad that like she was able to like get better and get home and be safe and recovered versus like continuing.
pushing
'Cause
through it.
she
and-
declined so rapidly. Like as soon as
That's crazy.
after she did the sardines,
Yeah,
the like
she just
ants nest and all that. Like so we were getting really worried. So I'm glad that she
Yeah.
she made it okay.
love you, Lindsay.
Boy, Drew.
Guy Drew, yeah.
Hi, Drew.
This was a shocker. He was like my biggest ally from the beginning. Him and I were gonna go to the end together, and it's just crazy how it happened.
Literally, I for sure was super intimidated. I think he played really strong, and he's coming for me a lot of times. So.
Yeah, he
He played
did
a
not
good
like
game.
you. Courtney, our exile girl. I feel bad.
That was
Straight from the beginning.
this
She
one-
just
Yeah, this one hit because we got Drew out. He was like my closest ally, and then
Yeah.
Courtney was my closest ally as well. So I was like bad deep, but then
Yeah.
Courtney just came in clutch, leaving me that diamond idol, which completely changed.
Crazy,
She
bro.
be my idol too. She saved my butt.
She made the most of that time in exile. That's
yeah,
for
she
sure.
saved my butt. Thanks, Courtney.
Hope she's doing well too.
Oh. Listen,
No
this
way.
was a side casualty by accident. Well, not by accident, but I just think there was so. This was
That one I was not expecting.
no. This was the start of all the drama where you survived with your diamond idol, and then
Yeah.
we had to revote like 3 times, and then I mean, Allison,
She was
I think,
good
just-
too. I feel like she would have done good in this.
I think she was like super sweet and really,
She was.
really kind.
Yeah.
She was. It was just a shame.
Really
Yeah.
good mindset.
I mean, how the game works. Leah.
She's good.
She's
so good.
feisty.
She's good.
Oh my
Like,
gosh, she fought
Knew
for
how
it.
to strategically plan. She knew how to get people on her side. She knew how to get people away from other people. Like she was just
It's she flipped
Too
quick.
good.
I think she just she played all of her cards exactly right. The hidden immunity idol.
She did.
So
Yeah.
just every piece she worked extremely hard. So
yeah, excellent.
mad respect to her.
Yeah.
Davis. Davis probably played the sneakiest and most strategic game out of anyone here.
Honestly,
And if he got away with that last vote, I think he would be standing here right now.
I
that
agree.
last fake idol, I'm
Yeah.
impressed.
This man was in it.
Yeah.
He literally exhausted every single option he possibly could. So he
He's fighting for his life for sure.
exactly.
He wanted to be here.
He did great.
He did great.
This one hurts.
Austin. What do you think?
Great guy.
Great competitor.
Great competitor. He played an honest game, the most honest game out here. He should be winning this game right now. He should be standing here. Yeah.
I think that's, the most honest and honestly, truly one of the best of the game.
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, that's also
Loyal.
moment of silence.
Super loyal.
Love you, Austin.
Come on in, guys.
Welcome to your final immunity challenge. All the stakes come down to this challenge right here. All right, so Kirk, I'll take it back. Thank you. For the last time, immunity is back up for grabs. How this challenge will work, you will stand next to a pile of blocks. Your objective is one by one, take the blocks, hold onto the ropes, stack the blocks, and it will spell final 2. All right, y'all ready? Okay. Survivors ready? Go! If your blocks touch the white pillar at all, you will need to restart. Kirk's blocks are getting very close to touching the white pillar. You can readjust your stack if you need to. Brendan's stack falls, he has to start all the way over. Charity's stack falls, has to start all the way over. Kirk is almost there, but that eye is dangerously close to touching. Brendan and Charity are tied. Brendan's stack falls, has to start over. Kirk is on his last block. Charity's also on her last block. Charity's stack falls. Kirk has his stack. He must now get back to the end of his rope without it falling or touching the white pillar. Kirk's falls, he has to start over. Everyone starting over. Everyone starting back at square one. Kirk's stack falls, has to start over. It is now Charity and Brendan with 3 blocks each. It is all about keeping up the tension. Charity and Brendan both have 4. Charity's stack falls as she's reaching for her next one. So does Brendan's. Now it is Kirk back with the only blocks. Stack's wobbling. This is a tough challenge and the heat does not make it any easier. Charity puts her eye on. Kirk's stack touches the white paw. He must start over. Charity's stack falls, she has to start over. Brendan has all the time in the world now to get his last block. Charity and Kirk are racing to catch up. Brendan has his final letter in his hand. He just needs to make it back without his stack falling. His stack falls, has to start over. Now it is Charity in the lead. Just like that, this challenge will change. Charity's stack falls. Kirk is trying a strategy of putting his blocks close to the edge, but the problem is they can touch the white pole. Charity's falls. Kirk is on his final letter. Brendan falls. Kirk came back to his final block. Kirk's stack has touched the white pole, he must start. This is a brutal shot. It's Brendan back in the lead. He's been here before. He knows this feeling. Charity trying to do her best to catch up. Kirk frustrated. Brendan places his final letter. He just has to make it back to the end of his rope. Brendan falls. Someone will get the hang of this. It's all about keeping tension. You have to earn your way. Charity and Brennan both have their second to last letter. You have to watch your stack as you're grabbing your next letter, make sure it doesn't fall. Charity and Brendan both have their last letter. Brendan has been there multiple times and lost it multiple times. Charity has made it back to the start, the final two. Charity has won the final immunity challenge. Guarantee a spot in the final two.
Look, I have like a legit blister.
Oh,
Hey, you crushed that.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, you were so close so many times.
Alright, for the third time this game, Charity, individual immunity is yours. come on up, get it. Charity, you have earned a spot in the final two. You will face the jury where you will plead your case to be the winner of this game. Waiting for you back at camp is a decision to make. You are going to choose to either bring Kirk or Brendan with you to the end. Congratulations, Kirk and Brendan. Unfortunately, one of you will become the last member of the jury, but you will have some time to talk to Charity and convince her why she should bring you to the end. All right, y'all head back to camp.
I'm feeling pretty bummed. I was really hoping I would have that win, get immunity, and then go to the jury. Unfortunately, I did not win. I was pretty close. Charity came in clutch, and she has individual immunity right now. So, I mean, I'll plead my case, but at the end of the day, it's her decision, and so we'll see who she decides.
What do you feel sad about? It's fine. We have been crying. You also have to remember, like, the last over 48 hours have been extremely draining mentally, physically, emotionally draining, and so your body's just tired. It's okay. And it's sweet. It means that you care about people, which is why people love you. So you can take a minute. We don't have to start yet. Like, it is exciting to win, but it definitely just puts me in a position of, like, I've spent like the last 48 hours, 48 plus hours, like, with these people, and they've become like some of the biggest, like, close friends. Like, it's crazy how close you can get with somebody when you're literally like in the woods, in a tent, sleeping together, like having late night conversations, constantly like talking about things, and you go back to your tribe. Or although I'm like happy and excited that I won because it like puts me in a good position, it also makes me sad and my heart's a little broken just because I love those two boys.
We'll see.
Okay, so this last challenge, Brendan and I talked so long, and we needed to win it so badly because we both think that if either of us go with Charity, she's winning. So now that Charity won, we think that she's winning it all. So
The only value that I bring is I have enemies. I think I'm just gonna get one vote.
truthfully, she should pick Brendan because he is less of a threat.
That's the decision. And I mean, I think she's going for more of the loyal route, which would make sense, but it's fine.
I think that there's a really strong case that like I've been with Charity since the beginning. I've had her back every single time. I think that like that whole kind of loyalty side, it really does have a strong case for me. I think that's huge. So I did put that up and be like, hey, I've been there for you. I've done everything for you.
Pitch it to me. Why should I take you all the way?
Did you ever in a million years? Look at you! You're doing amazing.
How did I do this?
This is crazy. Way to go.
I've like much more prepped like a statement. I think me and Brendan would have been like a much easier statement. I think we both mentally prepped for what statements were going to be. So having Charity, and this is honestly throwing a loop for both of us.
I think that Brendan and I are pretty equal as far as I think you're gonna win. Brendan and I already talked about this. Like, everyone's picking you.
What if they don't know? What if
Who?
that's... I
Who's
don't
going to
know.
pick me?
Plot twist. We actually hate her.
No, not a single person. Literally, who is going to pick me over you?
I just don't know how you're so confident that they're going to pick me.
I think your story is like, I came into this game not knowing how to play, and I just wanted to like treat everyone fairly, and I've proven myself like without knowing how to play. I've won 4 challenges or 3 or whatever it is, 4 like individual challenges, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously I want to go with you because like, we've been through it since the beginning. So I think it'd be so fun. So
My first initial instinct is to pick Kirk because we've been together since day one. And so like that's my first initial decision. But then on the other hand, I also have just enjoyed so much getting to know Brendan, and like he has just been so consistent and loyal, as well as Kirk. And so I just feel like they both I both want them standing up, to be honest, at the end, even though I know that can't happen. Like I both would want them on my left and right side.
The only thing I have that Kirk doesn't have is I have more enemies than him, and that's just pretty much it. I think people won't vote for me. I mean, at this point it's 50-50. I think I have more people who don't like me than Kirk does on the jury, and so that's to my advantage. But also, you know, Charity and Kirk have been here since the beginning. They've been a strong alliance this whole time, so it depends on if she wants to go with the friendly route or, you know, a more strategic route. Who knows, right? I would only get Drew and potentially Austin. That's pretty much it. And I don't even think Austin will vote for me because, I mean, if you're there, you were with him from the beginning and you have a good story. And I mean, I got him out, so why wouldn't he just get me out too? So, I mean, I think I played one of the more strategic games out here, and so I'm going to use that to my advantage. Since the beginning, I've had a target on my back, and I've somehow managed to make it to the top 3 through that. I also had a few big plays during this game, which showed that I do deserve to be in top 3 and top 2. I outwitted everyone on my tribe, being the last Miami here, becoming alliances, making hard decisions, looking to the future with those decisions, and ending up being in the top 3. So, I mean, that's really just up to you. If you want to go with, I mean, you and Kirk have been here from the beginning. If you want to go with that route, take your chances, I completely understand. But I mean, I think the more strategic route would be to choose me. I don't think I'm going to win. I'll get second for sure, but it's just up to you. Right? That's all I have.
I feel like I know, and it's one of those things where people just always say like, go with your gut. And it's just one of those things where it's like I just need to decide and be confident in that decision, and let all the other like outcomes just come out into play, and just focus on that one decision and let the dice roll when they may.
Welcome, Aruba Tribe. All right. We'll bring in the jurors. Drew, Allison, Leah, Davis, and Austin voted out at the last tribal council. All right. So, Kirk, talk to me about that immunity challenge. What was that like? Is it something you needed to win, or do you feel comfortable either way? How important was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was pretty important. I think, well, obviously, because it's when it comes down to so few people, any advantage is a huge advantage. So I think definitely that was something I was really gunning to win. I think it's, you know, every person for themselves and the way that they like play and strategize. So I think it'll be, now it's like, okay, what, like I'm going to do the best I can with what I've been dealt at this point. But I mean, obviously I was like fighting for it hard at the end there too.
Mm-hmm. So when you get back to camp, what is your pitch to Charity to get her to keep you?
I feel like one part is the part of loyalty of like we've made it this far and worked so like hard to through this whole game. I think the other part is, well, she has done extremely well, so there's a great chance that the majority of them will go with her versus me. So I think, I mean, that's what her mindset has to be thinking through of like, okay, who she can pick to bring with her.
Okay, Brendan, what is your pitch to Charity like? It sounds like it might be a little similar to Kirk, although you all had very different paths in getting here.
Yeah. For me, it was, I came from a different tribe, and right off the bat, like I was pretty loyal to Charity since the get-go. I had to make some pretty tough decisions.
and I just stayed loyal through that. Another one pitch was that through those decisions, I feel like I've made some enemies here, and Charity's played a great game. She's a likable person. She has a lot of friends on the jury, and so I don't think I'm in that seat like she is, and so that was my pitch to her.
So Charity, you are the one with the necklace. You are guaranteed to make it to the final two, and now you have a tough decision to make. So what are the emotions running through your mind when you win that challenge and up to now?
I think the emotions like in that challenge was definitely just trying to stay focused on like what was in front of me, because I know a lot of times you can get so sidetracked with everything that's happening around you, but just trying to focus on like my breathing and focus on how to make sure to keep the tension on that rope. And I think coming out of it, like I actually was honestly kind of surprised that I won, just because Brendan was literally right there, and I was like, oh no. So I was surprised, but I was also like thankful because it definitely like put me in a good spot. This is going to be a really hard decision, so I'm not feeling super great.
Okay, with that, it is time to make that decision. You are going to be the sole person casting a vote, and you will vote against the person you want out of the game. All right, with that, it's time to go. It's time to vote. Charity, go.
This was the hardest decision I've had to make all day. You have been such a loyal friend, and I'm so thankful that I got to compete with you.
All right, I'll get the vote. I'll read the vote. The 14th person voted out of Survivor Lake Fork, Bermuda Triangle, and the final member of our jury, Brendan. Brendan, bring your torch. Brendan, try this way. Happy to go. You have made it as far as you can go in this game. Now the power shifts to the jury. They will be deciding between the two of you the sole survivor of this game and the winner of the $500 prize. All right, give you all a moment to soak it in. Head back to camp. I'll see you in a little bit for final tribal council.
I mean, I gave it my all. I was dealt a bad hand from the beginning. I had to be very strategic, made a lot of enemies, ruffled some feathers pretty early on. I did not have the privilege that Kurt did with Charity from the get-go. With that loyalty there, I was a bit late to the party. I made my decisions and I just keep going with those. In the last challenge, I was close, but I didn't clutch. Overall, I think my performance was great. I was very strategic. I was not I did not have the most strength in the challenges, but I made up with that with my relationships, my strategy, and my decision making, and my leadership in the background, which got me to where I am today. And so I'm proud of myself.
Honestly, coming into this, I was terrified, sick, didn't even know literally any rules of the game. Thought we would eat meals, didn't know the full extent of it. I thought when we lost a challenge, we would get to vote a different person from a different tribe out. Just everything honestly was going against my favor. I didn't come in having any strategy really. And it's been kind of cool to see me grow outside of like my tribe and be able to like compete against the boys just because they're bigger, stronger. Sometimes my mind doesn't think as quick as theirs, and so I genuinely was like, I thought my time was coming to an end, and so it's just been cool to see like the growth of like knowing literally nothing to still really not knowing that much to now being sitting in this spot and being able to say that like, yeah, I came here and didn't know a single thing, but yet here I am. And so just the endurance and the pursuit of like, I'm not gonna not compete just because we don't know how to play the game. I'm just gonna do what I know best, which is being happy and smiling and caring for people well and knowing that they can trust me. And so I just feel like that most resembles me as a survivor.
Are you kidding me? But I'm just, did we have her? I mean, I told Charity a second ago, I didn't think we were ever gonna make it this far in the first place. So that it's literally me and Charity at the end, which is insane, just insane, so fun. I'm really excited. I think we'll see. The game's not over yet. I didn't think I was gonna make it this far, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna keep trying. I still think that there's a case. I still think that there's a chance. I mean, I really do think Charity's gonna win. I think she's genuinely incredible, but I'm still gonna fight for it. So I think, but it's just she's just awesome. So, I mean, it was a close call. It sucks when you win, doesn't it?
Charity definitely had a tough decision between Brendan and Kirk, but I think if I were her, I would have chose Brendan to stay in.
I think Kirk has tried really hard this competition. He's been a great competitor, and I think that's a huge win in his camp.
I was surprised at first, but then considering how Charity has played the entire game with such strong loyalty, it makes sense that she would do that to the end.
I want you to know I text my best friends Katie and Jacob because they wanted to do this. They kept asking me if they could, and I was like, I don't know, I don't know that you can.
Honestly, I think my vote will most likely go to Charity because she played the game that I really wanted to get to. She was protected and she was loyal and she did exactly what she needs to do.
I think Charity's played the best since the merge, and so that's kind of who I'm leaning towards right now. I think, I think she'll be the winner.
I think my vote is still up in the air right now, just because if Kirk can maybe explain a little bit more of his game and strategy behind it. As of right now, it felt like both of them were kind of just playing along with whatever I suggested, and I'm not sure if there's any more kind of stuff that Kirk was doing in the background that might make his strategic game look a little bit more appealing than Charity's.
I also don't know why Charity didn't pick me, which probably doesn't help, but I mean, if she picked me, it would probably be an easy win for her. I saved her a lot of times in the past, and I'm not here anymore, so she didn't save me.
Welcome to your final tribal council, Kirk and Charity. All right, now we will bring in the members of the jury. Drew, Allison, Leah, Davis, Austin, and Brendan voted out at the last tribal council. First of all, congratulations to the two of you for making it this far. That is a huge accomplishment. As all of you know, this is not an easy game. So how this time is going to work, you will have a moment to give opening statements where you can explain your game and why the jury should vote for you. Then we will give the jury a chance to question you, and you will be able to respond to their questions. At the end, you will give a closing statement, and then the jury will vote for a winner.
Hey guys. Before I say anything else, I just want to say thank you for each of you coming out, because I think obviously we all know how hard this is, and I don't want to say that each one of you, we were just talking about this a second ago, each one of you has such a powerful personality, character, and all of you could have been up here, and your hard work is truly something that impresses me. There's a lot of times where I've really worked hard to say I'm gonna have people's backs as long as I possibly can, And that obviously there's so many moments where it comes down to is I have to do something that goes to forward my game and push other people's games back. But I think that it's been my heart to support and have everyone's back as long as I physically possibly could. I think that's been a huge passion of mine. With the reason why I'm here is to have those relationships and to continue to strategize together. And I think that's what's brought me here.
Hey guys, how's it going? I would just also like to second what Kirk said about I don't know, it's just been such a joy to come out and play with you guys. Just getting to hang out and play this game has just been so fun, and just getting to know you guys. It's been cool to see how you guys compete, and it's been really fun. So, but yeah, definitely coming out here into this game, I genuinely knew literally nothing. Literally came in so blind, asked so many questions that people laughed at me for because they were like, "You what?" And I was like, "No, I literally don't know." I feel like I just have been loyal throughout the whole thing of having everyone's back, supporting everyone, being a trustworthy person until the time is that you have to make a decision, which is never easy and never fun, and it was very hard. And so yeah, I just think it was a really good time and a really good experience, and so I'm happy that I got to do it with y'all.
I guess I would like this question to apply to both of y'all. With certain alliances and I guess people who have played being obviously really big threats, do you think that y'all have coasted through the competition? And if not, what's something that you think has allowed you to prove yourself to be at the end?
I would say for me, I definitely feel like I coasted just because, again, I didn't really know anything, so I felt like the little lost puppy just following my tribe. What do I do next? Where do I go next? What do I do, kind of, because I'm just so just unaware of what was going on. So yeah.
I think for sure at the beginning, the fact that all of the tribe of San Juan was able to not have to vote people off was really helpful. I think that we all put in a ton of really hard work to win those challenges so that we didn't have to vote people off. So I think that was, in the sense, that was easier in some senses because we didn't have to vote people from our team, but working hard to get those challenges was not easy. And there were a lot of points when we had to risk it, had to put ourselves on the line, had to do things. So I think that each one of us worked really hard to do that so that it wasn't just coasting. You have to decide on, okay, how direct and aggressive and how visible am I gonna be in my leadership? So I think that there was multiple points where it didn't always look like, oh, I'm out in front, leading the charge or winning a ton of challenges, but behind the scenes, I'm checking in with people, seeing how we can work together, seeing what is the best route to bring people together.
Charity and Kirk. So didn't last long in the merger, so I didn't get to play with y'all too much as a teammate. I know towards the beginning, Kirk, I was targeting you a little bit. I'll say that was mainly out of selfish intent, just trying to make a path for myself. So I don't necessarily have ill will towards you, and likewise Charity. So I think my decision today is just going to be based on simple criteria, and so I want to ask you, what would winning mean to you?
To some extent, I think we all recognize this is a game, and we're all going to go back to our normal lives tomorrow. Hopefully, most of us have a day off so that we can rest, and normal life will continue after this. And I think winning to me now, of course, is something that's this is a huge moment and accomplishment. How many people can say that they've played a version of Survivor and won it? That's no small feat. And so there's a lot of people back home who are texting me, asking me how I'm doing, okay, how's it going? So of course I want to be able to share with the people that I love that I was able to win. So in that sense, it's something that I'm looking forward to, but not my identity.
Good. Oh, that's a good question, Drew. Nice question. I would say for me, especially coming into it, I genuinely was I'm gonna be out the first day. And so it's interesting to be sitting here now. So I would say, like, for me, the thing, even if I don't win and move and whatever, get first, like, I feel like I've already won just with, like, the relationships and, like, to be able to go back and be like, see a face at church and be like, hey, like, we played that game together and I like you and let's be friends, like, in real life is just really cool. And so, yeah, I just feel like I've won just in communication, like, being able to, like, have that skill set going back into day-to-day life of, like, okay, I can be able to say hard things to people that are confrontational, but, like, be able to work through those things and it not be like, you're a bad person kind of thing. So, yeah.
Okay, I have 2 different questions for y'all. So I'll start with Charity. Charity, at what point in the game, if any, did you shift from a group mentality to an individual, I'm trying to win this and I'm gonna do what it takes to get there?
I think, honestly, up until, like, Final 4, even a little bit of Final 3, like, I was still like, hey guys, can we make a decision together? Because I don't want to, like, I want to make a decision together. Like, I want this to be a group decision. Even if I'm the one that gets picked out, I want it to be, like, a group decision because, like, I care about you guys that much. And then probably when it was, like, 3, I was like, okay, well, now I have, like, it can't be a group decision anymore at this point. So I gotta figure out what happens next.
And then Kirk, had the roles been reversed, had you had immunity for this past vote, what would you have done?
I mean, I even, like, thought about this back in Final 4 when there was 4 of us and I was like, okay, what are we gonna do? And I think Brendan and I talked about, like, if we had been in the final, like, us being in the final 2, it would have been equally our decision.
Hey y'all, congrats. Okay, my question is for the both of y'all. Which jurors' votes do you think you have and why?
Okay, hi Drew. I mean, we had your back. We, you know, in the beginning when you joined us after Jackie and Kyle, you know what I mean? And so I want to be like, yeah, but also Kirk was also there. So he also had your back in that. Drew, I don't know you that well. I want to be able to say yes to you, but I didn't actually get, you know, chance to play with you. So you probably didn't get to see me, you know, at full capacity. Allison, I would also love to say yes, just because you were San Juan forever, you know? Leah, you're kind of a wild card. I feel like I want to be like, yes, girl power, you know? But also I feel like you were good. You did a very excellent job. And so maybe, I don't know, yes or no. Davis, I also want to say yes, just because you told me, like, it would be so cool if I won. And so I want to be like, yeah, he has my vote. Austin, San Juan forever. So again, I would love to say yes, but again, Kirk is sitting right here. So yeah, I don't know that. And Brenda, you already saw me cry. So, but same thing, just like loyalty, I feel like our relationship just over the past 24 hours has grown. And so, but again, Kirk was also there too, so.
Brendan, I think that I feel like we've worked together and, like, collaborated, and once we got into these, like, Final 4, I've been like, you have all the cards on my table. So I feel like we've been there. And Austin, I feel like we've been there since day 1, and that vote was the hardest thing, literally. Like, I fully respect you. Davis, bro, it was the best. Causing chaos for, like, all of 12, 15 hours was wild. Your whole day, just, like, absolutely insane. So, super respect you for that, and super respect you for never giving up for a second. Literal to the end second. And I think, honestly, there was a lot of points when I was really, like, going back and forth, like when I voted Lee out. Obviously, like, I did things that I thought were what I needed to do to get forward in the game. So I'm not blaming you if that's what your choice is. Like, you're gonna go with Charity, who didn't have to make that decision and didn't have to choose against you. And yeah, Leah, kind of like what I just said, like, the 3 parts of the Survivor motto are outwit, outplay, outlast. So, like, there's a lot of different choices in that. So, Allison, it has been so fun. I feel like, and I expect you to, like, do whatever you feel is the best, and, like, there's no hard feelings either way. So, Drew, I was like, he hates me. My life is over. He's never voting for me. That was one thing I told Charity. I was like, Charity, you can take me. Don't worry. Drew's never gonna vote for me. And Drew, seeing you and Leah, when you guys freaking crushed that bird's coop, What a literal insanity. Wild. And I think that, like, I got you back. Like, I was there, like, and obviously Charity was there too. Like, I was there.
Okay, first question is for Charity. What was your strategy for picking Kirk? To my knowledge, I think if you would have picked Brendan, it was a walk in the park for you. Easy win. So now it's 50-50. Why did you do that?
I feel like we are all on the three of us, very like similar playing fields. I think Brendan had a really good story of just coming from behind, like every single like challenge, every single time, like you felt like you were on the chopping block, like you just somehow always had a target on your back but flew under the radar. And I felt like that was just a very good case against me.
And then for Kirk, obviously you're coming in probably as the underdog, and I think you know that. Based off your comments from Allison's questions, it sounds like you're not really confident in winning. How can you tell the jury that you should be the winner and kind of boost that confidence?
The fine line is obviously like being like humble versus arrogant. I mean, to be honest, I think that there's a lot of points that Charity has coasted through. We wanted everyone to like be in it and all in, and like there wasn't like anyone's coasting, but I feel like a lot of that kind of play in that sense was us being able to pull her in and pull her through. I kind of hinted it to a little earlier, but there were definitely points when Austin is like making decisions, making plays, and like leading, but there's a lot of points when I was behind this, like I said, kind of behind the scenes of like checking in individually on people to like have that like leadership, the behind the scenes, that servant leadership, and I think that's that's equally as important, just not always as visible.
I guess I kind of right now I feel like I'm leaning more towards voting for Charity, just because of her performance in the challenges and stuff, and also just kind of how she's just been playing the game. I think it's somewhat comparable to your game, Kirk. I know you spoke to kind of some of the situations that you kind of led from behind. Could you give more specific examples of that?
I think there's a few moments where you see one, like Lindsay and Allison are like, oh, like as we're walking out, like Kirk's our fearless leader, and I'm like, no guys, I'm not like the fearless leader. And I think that like you had a ton of that leadership quality too. So I'm trying to be humble in that sense. At many different points, I'm like intentionally, individually, like going up to each person and saying like, hey, how are you doing? Are you doing okay? Hey, I'm like really proud of you. I'm like we're glad that you're here. Like, hey, you're doing great. Like, keep it up. Like, I think of the moments that like Lindsay is eating the sardines and like we were all like cheering for her, but I'm like, you will finish this challenge. You can do this. This is edible. It will be in your stomach. It's okay. Like in the partner challenge, Davis and I are like, what do we do with the like little balls and the sticks? And I was like, Davis, this is exactly how we're gonna do it. And we got it like in 2 seconds. So I think there's some points where it's like, when I need to step in and lead to make the decision, I can.
For the two of y'all, when it's kind of the final four, me and Brendan and you guys and stuff, and you guys were very open, you know that me and Brendan are tight. What was kind of the driving factor for putting my name down instead of Brendan's?
As I was just processing things and working through things, like I was like, if it ends up being Austin and I'm toast. Like there's no way that I am getting any votes or winning the next challenge or whatever. Like I was just like, I'm done for. So I think going into that way, I was just like, even if Kirk didn't end up voting for you, I was like, I'm gonna go vote for him either way because like, I don't think I have a chance if he's by my side.
So I've heard both of you say loyalty a lot whenever you're up here talking. Could you please give me a concrete example during your gameplay when things got hard and you had to stay loyal and take a risk with the loyalty to strengthen your game?
I think the defining factor for me, like that big moment, was when I voted with San Juan to get Leah out. That decision was hard for me because I wanted to maintain the loyalty that I had to them, but at the end of the day, the loyalty that I had to San Juan from day to day was like, okay, this is what's like how I'm gonna keep my word.
Yeah, we would come up with a plan, we'd talk about it, we sift through it at camp, we would share our thoughts, our feelings toward it, just all the different things. And I was like, okay, we're gonna vote for this person, or we're gonna vote for that person, or we want this person to join our alliance, or whatever it was. And anytime, we would just be sitting here and we would just eye people, and it would be like, yep, we're all in this together.
All right, thank you, jury, for your questions. Now we will give the finalists another moment to give their closing arguments for why you should vote for them, and then the jurors will vote. Kurt.
Guys, I think that one, like I said before, I really deeply appreciate each one of you. I'm grateful for each of you, and the support that I've shown and the way that I've played is worth voting for.
It has been such a joy, such a pleasure, and I think that I worked really hard, even though I had no clue what I was doing, to get myself here. Especially, I feel like when it came to individual, I feel that's where I really came to life. I feel like I kind of hid in the shadows with my team, but I think when individually the challenges came, I really shined out. So, thank you guys for everything.
With that, for the last time, it is time to vote. Drew, you're up. Remember that you are voting for the person you want to win.
Charity, you really stepped out and you killed those competitions. So, great job.
Credit where credit is due, you played a great game.
Charity, you've been my girl since day one. Hope you get it.
Kirk, you played a great game. I think I might have underestimated your encouragement and leadership on our tribe, so great job.
Good game, you deserve it.
Kirk, you played a great game. You strategized well. You're a good teammate. This one's for you.
From the point of strategy and effort, this is my vote.
All right, for the last time, I'll go to all the votes. First of all, thank you all for a great season. This has been super fun. I know the heat has been crazy, but I'm thankful for all of you, and I hope it was a good time. With that being said, it's time to get to our winner. I'll read the votes. First vote, Charity. Kirk. Charity. Kirk. 2 votes Charity, 2 votes Kirk. Charity. Kirk. That's 3 votes Charity, 3 votes Kirk. 1 vote left. The winner of Survivor Lake Fork Bermuda Triangle and the winner of the $500 prize, Kirk.
We're so proud of you. So sweaty. You did amazing.
Bro, oh my god.
I've never surfed.
Oh my gosh. I'm truly.
Wow. What? Wow.
That didn't go
I did not expect that at all.
What?
Crazy end to a crazy season. Thank you all so much. Please, everyone, get home safe. And Luckiest, Texas, beautiful. Thank you all.